So Apple, a big company that has a lot of money flowing into it, a lot of money flowing out of it, got sued for NetX the other week to the tune of $600 million. They sued them over VPN, which is virtual private network patents that they had in their FaceTime software, as well as other things that they use in their iPads and iPhones and whatnot for communication. So at the time, they were forced to pay $368 million in infringement damages, but Apple appealed the case and won on a technicality. After the appeal, the jury saw no direct linkage between Apple's infringed FaceTime software and their sales of iPads, iPhones that use the software. However, Vertex didn't give up. In fact, they came back harder, and in the second round, they won, as I mentioned previously, up to $600 million. They had four main patents that really were driving this entire thing. To a layman, $625 million may sound like a fortune, but for Apple, the money is just a drop in the bucket. The company's last quarterly revenue, for example, was $74.6 billion just in the quarter. They could pay Vertex this money and go about their day as if nothing happened. Except doing that would be sort of succumbing to the patent troll game. You would be essentially giving in to the lawyers and saying, okay, well, we'll just give this money to you. And that's not Apple's style. Apple fought back. They fought back hard, and they tried to win their money back. Except the fact that even Apple can't, from a moralist perspective, spend all this money to try and get what truly is sort of like rightfully theirs, even though they don't technically own it. It just sort of highlights the issue that there is sort of this loophole of sorts in patent law, and that a non-practicing entity can hold sort of this non-physical intellectual power over someone that's actually building and constructing these things. Another issue that lies at hand comes to the incentive of innovation. As we learned in class with the Japanese motors of the 70s and 80s, what the Japanese motor cars did is they waited for they waited for the U.S. manufacturers to go, and they decided to let them do all the R&D and all the building. And they focused on making cheap, streamlined parts. And so when all the patents expired, then the Japanese could make better, faster, cheaper, more reliable cars. And so there's certain aspects of patent law in terms of intellectual property and who gets the right to do and buy what and sue whom and who spends the money that can actually sort of disincentivize creation and disincentivize new inventions that come to the market. So there are a lot of issues at hand here. There are a lot of moving parts, but that's really sort of like some of the